directed by Josh Boone, and tells the story of 5 mutants who are locked up in a medical facility against their will, so they must find a way to escape the facility as well as face their own fears. I was actually surprised that this was finally actually released in theaters. It's just that I remember being so anticipated by this movie. I thought the trailers looked pretty impressive, even though like the latest trailer that they released didn't really look all that impressive. I mean, I understand that the film supposedly went through reshoots. I honestly can't tell which scenes they actually reshot. I mean, this is all just a rumor, really. And of course, with the pandemic, it was pushed back even further. And there's some things that I like about the movie, and there are some things about the movie that I don't like. So I'm going to start with the positives first. Most of the cast, they do a good job with what they can do. Some of the scares, some of them work, some of them don't work. There's this really creepy scene involving these creatures with I honestly I can't find the right way to explain it. If it's just that these creatures, I mean, they're freaky as hell. Some of the CG, some of it works in some areas, some of it doesn't. Some scares, some work, but there's also some you can see coming a mile away. And that's pretty much where I can stop at the positives. But for the most part, I found the rest of the film just extremely boring. And honestly, I mean, it's not as boring as, say, Dark Phoenix. I mean, it's a very short movie, which is kind of surprising, especially for an X-Men movie. And this, even though this, there's another issue that I have with the movie. It's it feels like a setup movie, even though this, of course, is not the case right now since the Disney-Fox merger. That can cause a bit of problems. So I honestly don't know what they were thinking. Honestly, if the film supposedly went through reshoots, I mean, I'm guessing it would probably because of the Disney-Fox merger. Why don't you? I mean, I understand that there's like certain like connections involving like certain different characters, but particularly the psychiatrist, well, the supposed to be psychiatrist, has some connections to a certain organization that we've already know exists in the X-Men universe. I don't want to give too much away because of spoilers. And some stuff, mostly involving the special effects, and mostly because of the runtime. I mean, it's mostly because of the film's budget. And also, the opening scene does have a bit of shaky cam to the point where it was shot by somebody who had Parkinson's. And no offense, I mean, it's just the shaky cam it was a little bit too much for me. I mean, sometimes less is more, and it needed much, much less. I mean, and it's not the only time that they have the shaky cam, so I don't know what the hell they were thinking, but yeah. But first, I want to talk about the cast. Maisie Williams, I thought she was pretty good. I mean, I've been a fan of her work ever since I first watched Game of Thrones. You have Anya Taylor-Joy. I mean, her character, Anya Taylor-Joy, I had mixed feelings about her at first. I mean, at first she started out as a complete bitch. But over time, I mean, she does become better at the end. Then you have Charlie Heaton, who I have loved ever since Stranger Things, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people would say the same thing. Does have a bit of a tragic backstory, and there were moments where I actually felt sorry for the guy. Then Blu Hunt's character, She was one of the two characters which I really liked throughout the movie, and her ability I kind of understood right around the 30-minute mark, because of basically her power is to create illusions of people's like worst fears. So when sometimes when that power is on display, I mean that could cause like a lot of some problems within this medical facility, and she's definitely probably the most dangerous out of all of the mutants in this facility. Maisie Williams' character, I thought her backstory was also a bit interesting. I love the chemistry that she has with Blu Hunt. As for the horror aspects, there's some of it that's handled very well, and the way the rest is executed, it just some of it does not really work very well. I really wanted to like this movie. I really, really did. It's just, the cast, they're all good, and I thought they can work with what they can do, but the horror aspect is just, there's not much to it that really, some of it works in some areas and some of it doesn't. Some of the special effects, some of them work, some of them don't. So it's just a very disappointing movie and a very sad end to the X-Men universe. So I'm going to give New Mutants a C. It's not as terrible as Dark Phoenix. It's just, like I said, I found most of the movie boring. It's not as super boring as Dark Phoenix, but I would rather prefer New Mutants over something like Dark Phoenix, and of course X-Men Origins Wolverine. So yeah. And also, in case anybody's wondering what shirt I am wearing, I figured I would wear a Black Panther shirt in honor of Chadwick Boseman, who has sadly passed away. Wakanda forever. I'll have like 2 different other videos coming up very soon. I'll probably I hope I have enough time to review Bill and Ted 3, and also I don't really do much videos like this on my channel for a celebrity who has passed, but I think I want to make a memorial for Chadwick Boseman, so yeah, I felt like that's a must, so yeah. So thank you so much as always for watching. It felt great to see a new release in theaters. It makes me feel like I'm back. I am back, and I'm so happy to talk about new movies for you guys, and it's been a while, because the last new release that I talked about was the atrocious Artemis Fowl and the boring Bloodshot, which was all the way back in March, but Artemis Fowl was all the way back in June, so why is it every time I talk about new release it has to be a terrible movie? But New Mutants isn't terrible, it just some of it works in some areas, some of it doesn't, so yeah. Thank you so much as always for watching. I'm looking forward to doing more videos really soon, and if you want my thoughts on old or new movies, of course, you know where to find me.